But first, it's over to Highbury, where Arsenal take the field with a 2-1 lead over the Danish club Brondby from their first meeting 2 weeks ago, but knowing that any slips could prove very costly indeed. Commentary comes from Don Howe, and first, Alan Parry.
It's literally many happy returns for Ian Wright. 31 today, back in the side after injury, and a club record to celebrate. Wright has scored in each of his last 10 games for Arsenal, beating David Jack's achievement of 60 years ago. And two great Arsenal heroes, John Radford and David O'Leary, are here to make a special presentation. Well, if Wright can continue the sequence tonight, then Arsenal will surely be celebrating a place in the quarter-finals. With the renowned Arsenal defence back to full strength, Lee Dixon and Nigel Winterburn have both recovered from injuries. It's hard to see them letting this one slip. Ian Selley replaces the suspended Stefan Schwartz in midfield. The Danes, Brondby officially, but we'll call them Brondby, are a strong physical side who play in the English style. They're currently second in the Danish league, which they won 5 times in 7 seasons, and have been further than any other Danish club in Europe, reaching the semi-finals of the UEFA Cup 3 years ago. Brondby's best-known player is Kim Vielfort, who scored one of Denmark's goals in their victory over Germany in the final of the European Championships 2 years ago. The referee is Sergei Kusainov from Russia. Well, enough disasters have befallen English clubs in Europe already this season to make Arsenal approach this tie very cautiously. But it's worth noting that when they won the trophy last season, Arsenal conceded only 1 goal in 4 ties here at Highbury. Strangely enough, that was against a Danish club, Odense. Brondby in the yellow and blue, and the early ball for Hansen proved to be an easy test for David Seaman. Nigel Winterburn, who recovered from a pretty nasty injury, suffered in the match at Everton at the weekend. Martin Keown, incidentally, keeping his place, even though Steve Bold is fit and amongst the substitutes. And Ian Wright almost releasing Ian Selley for the first opening of the game. Well, Brondby were dismayed to realise that Ian Wright was fit to play here tonight. He was the man they feared before the first game, and George Graham knew that he had a psychological advantage over the Danes. Hansen, the man who began his career with this club. Merson helping it out to the far side. Couldn't quite get the return from Winterburn, but then eventually does get the ball again. And Parler in a good position in the inside right. And then the shot by Selley produced a good save. He's only ever scored twice for Arsenal, and one of them was in Europe in the 7-0 win at Standard Liège last season. Good effort here, Don Howe.
Yes, very much so, Alan. And the Arsenal have got to respect Brondby, although they won the away leg. They can't take it for granted. It's like you said, and they play a very English style. They play 4-2-4, they get the ball forward early, and they'll get it into the box. So the Arsenal have got to defend well as well.
And there is that early ball into the box, and they scored. Well, that was certainly not in the script by any means. Well, that has really rocked Arsenal. The ball delivered into the box by the fullback, Yes Who, and Arsenal's defence, for once, was caught absolutely napping here.
Well, it's a lovely ball played into the box. Strudel gone onto it and pulled it square across the 6-yard box. He did it right. There'd be a temptation for the number 10 player to have a goal there, but he pulled it into the path of Bo Hansen, and he stuck it in.
Well, George Graham, as stunned as the Highbury crowd by that goal, which came in the 3rd minute, the score of Bo Hansen, and amazingly, Brondby are back level on aggregate.
Well, Alan, the days have gone where we could look at a Danish team and think, oh yeah, it's going to be 6 and 7-0. Those days have gone. They've become organised, and they're making some good players now. They're cultivating good players.
There's Parler for Arsenal. Not too many fans here from Brondby, but they're making a lot of noise at the moment as Dixon swings another good-looking cross in. Reaper got it clear. Viewer for Brondby to the goal scorer, Hansen. And a foul by Martin Keown. He's one of their least known players as well, the scorer. He came into the side last season, young lad, came from a local youth side. And that's one of the great highlights of his career, I would think, scoring against Arsenal at Highbury. Thurston with a little header back, finds him again. And my word, the same player could have made an even bigger name for himself. And Arsenal's defence, uncharacteristically, has been opened up twice.
Yeah, it was a nice run from Thorson from midfield. Just as the free kick was going to play it in, no one tracked him, and he got free. A nice header across the 6-yard box. They've started off a little bit slow, Alan. I don't know whether their concentration's there. I don't know whether they've took it for granted. I don't know. I know Tony Adams is getting around them now and trying to wake them up.
Now Adams. Thurston, straight to Winterburn. Looking for Ian Wright in the inside left channel. Parler making a good run into the penalty area. He had to come out again, though. Merson in possession. It was a good effort by Paul Merson.
He made himself a good shooting position there, and that's what he can do. I mean, I know he plays on that left wing, but he likes to come inside on his right foot, and if they back off him, he'll go square across that box, and he'll wait for his shooting position. Just got underneath that one a little bit.
Scored 2 goals in the competition already this season in Nicosia in the previous round. Screwdale up there. Certainly a good deal of uncertainty in Arsenal's back four, which is not like them at all, the rock around which Arsenal's successes in recent years have been built. Smith with a brilliant downward header then finds Parler, and a lovely ball on to Wright. Parler wants it returned into the box. Ian Wright's got other ideas and wins the corner.
He's finding some space in behind that right back. He's just making those little runs kind of from the centre of the pitch in behind the right back, and he's getting himself a little bit of space out there, Ian Wright.
Tony Adams and Martin Keown have both come forward for the kick. And Adams comes to meet it aggressively in typical style. Crowe did well to get it away, and then was in the right place, and the ball almost crossed the line. Good early throw out by the goalkeeper. Dixon was aware of the danger.
I'll tell you something, Alan, the keeper did a good job there at that corner with Tony Adams, because Tony goes in there really where it hurts, and he don't mess about.
Adams heading it out. Prestonson with a quick throw, will want it back again. Thurston still up in support, and it eventually came to him, and that caused Parler to give away the corner.
That's what I say, you see, they couldn't get out of that right back corner. I mean, the Danes were in on them like a flash. Didn't get them chance to get a cultured pass out.
And Egan has gone forward, Seaman punching it clear, and then knocked straight back in again by Reaper. Good goalkeeping by England's #1. But rather like Arsenal, Brondby certainly possess plenty of threats from set pieces. They've got 3 or 4 players, 6 foot plus, Thurston here being one of them. And the 2 centre-backs, Reaper and Egan. The back header was a dangerous one, and Arsenal have cause to thank the man on the line, Nigel Winterburn. Well, this game has not started at all as Arsenal and their supporters would have expected here. Hansen. Winterburn under pressure again here, but it was his important intervention moments earlier that saved another embarrassment for the home team.
They're going to be a threat on those corners, because what they're doing, they're virtually piling in on David Seaman. I mean, there's two players standing up against David Seaman, and it's always going to be awkward for him to get out and get his hands on the ball and relieve that pressure.
First yellow card of the game has gone to Brian Jensen for that obvious foul on Ray Parlour. Dixon hits the free kick into the channel. Alan Smith chasing. Alan Smith will let Lee Dixon launch a long throw, which is the signal for Tony Adams to come forward. Just on the edge of the box. Goes in towards Smith on the near post. And Jensen shot on the ball at the vital moment. Dixon playing another little inviting curler back in again. Here's Smith with room. Well, Alan Smith, who scored Arsenal's second goal in the away leg, kept a difficult ball down, but the goalkeeper was well placed.
That's what they're good at, Arsenal. If they get a long throw or a free kick or a corner, they can keep the ball in the box. If they don't get on that first ball, they're clever enough to keep it there, and they'll knock it down, and perhaps at the end they'll get somebody on the end of it.
Egan pumping it forward for Strudale. Adams right behind him. It was a rather fortunate clearance then. It went straight to Parlour. Could have gone anywhere. I think he needs a bit of help here. He's got himself a throw-in, which often can be as good as a free kick. This time Adams isn't coming forward, so Dixon takes it short to Jensen. It'll mean a lot tonight to John Jensen to have a good game against his old club. And that clever little ball forward to Dixon has earned Arsenal a corner. Played 10 years for Brondby, and his father, in fact, is still youth team coach at the club. That's a dangerous ball, and the deflection almost took it to Adams, who was brought down, and the referee has pointed to the penalty spot. Villefort leads the protests. It was difficult to see in such a crowd of players, but the referee had no doubts whatsoever.
There's no doubt about it, he was hit, and he was just on the turn. He was going to turn it back into the net, and as he turned, he got tackled from behind. Now is the number 3. Egan.
Ian Wright with the opportunity to bring Arsenal level. As you would expect, he takes it. If there's a crisis, he's the man to solve it. 26 minutes gone, and Ian Wright's beautifully struck penalty, goal number 16 of the season for him, and Arsenal level on the night and back in front, of course, on aggregate.
Well, here again, it all comes from that corner, and like I said, it's not always the first ball they score from, it's from the knockdown. It's the one the opposition can't get away.
Knocked in long for Smith, but too long even for him. Too high, certainly. Adams staying strong. Christensen got a foot to it. Merson's header finds Dixon. Again, Parlour makes that early run, and it's a superb ball. And Parlour's lost his boot, but found Ian Wright. And amazingly, he couldn't find the net when you would have really put money on him so to do. But what a superb, incisive, swift move by Arsenal.
Yeah, it was a great move down this right wing. A lovely run by Ray Parlour, and a terrific ball from Dixon. And that's what made it. And he outpaced Jensen. Then he put an early ball to the back of the defence, and he's coming in late. You'd put your money on he'd bury that one. Ian Wright.
They've got plenty forward in this attack, Brondby, if it's a good ball. But it wasn't. Nelson has switched from left to right momentarily, but has been caught in possession by Christensen. Now Bure. Forward for Strudel. Keown read the danger. And a foul on Winterburn.
That's when he's at his best, Martin Keown. If it's a run or a chase for the ball, he's got terrific pace.
And reads the game so well. Ian Wright getting up well. Reaper under pressure again from the Arsenal striker, who just had a stab at him, and the referee decides that's worthy of a free kick. Well, they took a risk playing him at all tonight, Ian Wright, but it's a risk that's already paid off with his all-round presence and, of course, his goal from the spot. Referee's looked at his watch here, and we're some minute and a half into stoppage time. Vilfort for Brondby. That's it, the end of a first half that started far from satisfactory for the holders, with Bo Hansen giving Brondby a very surprise early lead here, but some sanity was restored to the proceedings when Arsenal got a penalty for a foul on Tony Adams, and Ian Wright, who else, dispatched the ball cleanly home to bring them level on the night and keep them ahead on aggregate. But there's still a lot of football to be played in this tie. At half-time here at Highbury, Arsenal 1, Brondby 1. So Arsenal get the second half underway in a good period of form themselves at the moment. 7 games unbeaten, 1 defeat in their last 11, and they've lost just 4 out of 18 league and cup matches so far this season. Incidentally, Brondby have made a substitution during the half-time interval. They've taken off Brian Jensen, the left-back, who was getting a bit of a roasting down that side, in particular from Ray Parlour, and brought on Sar Colding, an under-21 international, in his place. And there he is, the number 14. From the throw-in, quickly taken by Arsenal, Ian Wright finds Selley! And Selley finds the net! 40 seconds on my watch since the second half started, and Arsenal are back where they started.
Yeah, well, they got caught there on that throw-in. Alan Smith gets it in, and once more, it's not a clean header, but they keep it in the box, and they get on the end of that second ball. It's a good volley from Ian Selley. Kept it down, hit the target.
Well, there's something about these European games that brings the best out of Ian Selley. 3 goals altogether for Arsenal, 2 of them now in the Cup Winners' Cup competition. And that one has restored Arsenal's lead on the night, and of course made things look an awful lot healthier now on aggregate. Arsenal leading 4-2. That's more like it. Well, we saw George Graham making copious notes just before half-time. Whatever the tactical points he made were, even he wouldn't have imagined that his wise words would have quite such an effect as quickly as that. Well, that's the key goal for me in this game, because now Brondby are in a dilemma. They've got to keep coming forward, and Arsenal have got the firepower to punish them, and they've got a corner here. What a marvellous way to start the second half. Merson with a good-looking kick as well. Keown gets up, but the header didn't really carry any power.
Nice little chip gets him in.
he's looking a bit more relaxed now, and as ever, of course, sartorially splendid. Parlour. Ian Wright lost his man brilliantly. That was a good effort as well.
Just let the ball run across his body. That beat the defender by itself. He didn't have to touch the ball, and then he whacks the shot in with that left foot. Watch the way he lets it run here across his body. Just that alone beats that defender, and then whack.
Dealport. Excellent pass. Tourson. Difficult one for Adams.
He's got forward well as Tourson from midfield for Brondby. And he made the goal with that lovely ball across the edge of the 6-yard box for Hansen. And every time he gets the chance, he's making little angle runs from midfield.
Reaper usually the danger from these corners. It was inadvertently played across his own goal mouth there by Merson. Hansen's header, and he's still battling away here with Selley, and finds the net. Does he? No! How did that not go in? Well, the man to ask is Lee Dixon. That was an amazing incident, really. Hansen's persistence almost bringing, remarkably enough, another goal for Brondby. And Dixon, well, I don't know how he got that off the line. We'll have another look at that when the ball's out of play, but that was incredible defending by Lee Dixon. And it just shows you that the game is far from won yet for Arsenal. Here's Tourson. Dealport lets it run on. Egan with the shot. No real threat, though, to David Seaman.
It's unusual for David Seaman at that near chance. I mean, he let the ball go through his hands, and it looked as though it would roll just inside the far post. And Dixon come from nowhere, and he swiveled round to get that ball off the line. I don't know how he did it.
Well, look at that. That had to be in, didn't it? Dixon didn't think so. Never give up. There's Reaper for Brondby. Terrible ball. Straight to Parlour. Emerson. Arsenal need another goal just to settle their nerves here. Is this to be it? Parlour has done really well. And then just turned back inside, and as it happened, into trouble. But they're not out of the woods yet, Brondby. They've conceded the throw. Jensen. Campbell. Cleared by Reaper. Jensen's there once more. But Brondby get it back. Good tackle by Adams on Hansen. Winterburn. Campbell just lost out. It did not cross the line according to the linesman. Good header away from Adams. It's getting a bit frantic in the middle of the field at the moment. Who? Reaper. Colding only just managed to slide that one out. And a long clearance by Keogh. Not too many people prepared to chase it. Goalkeeper Crow's clearance. Headed away by Keogh. And again, it's all getting compressed into the middle third of the field at the moment. It's gone out of play now, and that means that Arsenal will be able to make their second substitution. Lee Dixon also presumably feeling his injury, will be replaced by Stevie Bold.
He has been limping for most of the second half, Lee Dixon. He's got a problem there, and Stevie Bold's going to come into the centre of defence. It looks like Martin Keown's going to play in that right back spot.
And Bold gets his first touch, not a very good one actually, gave it away. And Adams, who's been quite magnificent at the back tonight, won it back. Buer. Strudel, the target in the box, but with Bold around now, they've got another man who's going to have no problems when it's floated in high like that. Here's Buer again. Bit of a harsh one. The referee deciding that was a foul by Campbell.
Well, we know where this one's going. Going to those big men in the box, especially on the far post, big Reaper.
And Egan just beyond him. And everybody's sleeping, and it's a splendid goal. Well, the warning signs were there. Egan crept in round the back of the defence, and amazingly, Arsenal lost concentration. And the Norwegian international beat David Seaman, and Brondby are not dead yet.
Well, it's a lovely ball, and it's bounced in that box. And he's done ever so well, the centre-back, to come in late on that back post, and he kept it down on a difficult bouncing ball.
Well, that has made life interesting again now. 20 minutes to go. It's back to 2-2 on the night, and Arsenal's aggregate lead is reduced now to 4 goals to 3, and George Graham is anxious again. Good early throw. Campbell beaten to it, though, by Reaper. Parler lost out. Tuerson finds Colding. And the game is very much alive again here. Don.
Well, I'll tell you what, I mean, they're putting the Arsenal under pressure all the time. Every time they get the chance, they're going forward and people are running off the ball. They're trying to get behind the Arsenal defence. They are giving them problems.
And the anxiety is obvious from the crowd as well, but this time they've beaten the offside trap. Merson here, Campbell in the middle. And perhaps he should have thought about finding him. It was a very difficult angle for Merson. The striker's instinct took over there. He only thought about scoring. Didn't see better placed colleagues.
Well, he had a look, Alan. I've got to say this. He went into the box. He'd broken the offside trap down. He went into the box on that right-hand side. He knew he was on a difficult angle. He looked across the box, couldn't see anyone, and then he went for the shot. And it was a good save by the keeper. There he goes, and it was a tight decision on offside. Into the box. Watch him look across the box. He has a look and then wallop. It's always going to be on when that linesman on that far side. You know, he'll keep giving them, then every now and again he'll miss one, or there'll be one that will be difficult to give, a tight one, and he'll let that one go.
Well, revitalised again by that goal, Brondby. Christensen for them. Well, this looks dangerous for Arsenal, very dangerous. It's a brilliant run, and Buer is up in support here, and looked for Strudel when really I felt he could have gone on himself. And Arsenal are on the back foot again all of a sudden. This has been an amazing game, the way it's swung, really. Strudel's a layoff. Whipped it again towards the same player. And Hansen offside. Offside as it was turned forward to Christensen. To Arsenal's relief, I might add.
When Thorsen, the left kind of midfield player for Brondby, gets forward, he's opening that Arsenal defence. He's making some super runs, and he can use the ball on the end of it.
So the scoreboard imploring support for Arsenal, and they certainly need a bit of vocal encouragement now. That's a lovely little ball by Buer to Hull. Vilfort then loses it, unlike him, and he might be made to pay for that error. Winterburn for Arsenal. Good ball for Smith. Parler. Now Jensen. Parler takes over again. And a good-looking ball, Smith! That could have soothed a few nerves.
Well, that could have been the end of the game. A nice attack down this left side. Winterburn picked up Alan Smith out, lovely. Then there's a bit of interplay and a nice cross. It was just on Alan Smith's right side. It's not his best side now. He has knocked him in with his right foot, but not tonight.
Certainly Arsenal's best chance of the half, no doubt. Throw launched in towards Reefy, came off the Arsenal player's head, and Barger had a great opportunity there, the substitute, to score for Brondby.
He just couldn't get any pace in his header. He was well placed, and he got flicked on this near post on the throw. And he's right in the centre of the 6-yard box. He can't get any pace on the header to get past David Seaman.
Arsenal leading 4-3 on aggregate, remember. Adams beaten for once. Winterburn wasn't, but Dealthorpe with a very good through ball. Who gets himself into the box and almost got the return, but Arsenal break themselves now with Winterburn. Needs to just get it down into the corner, I would have thought here, Winterburn, and hold on to possession. He's done just that. Very professional. Excellent work by Nigel Winterburn.
It's good play, Alan. It's virtually on time now.
Here he is again. They want to hold it again and try and force another throw, or maybe even better, a corner. Brondby have got possession back, but we're now into stoppage time. Just seen the referee have a glance at his watch. They've got a lot of men forward, as they've got to, of course, here. Jurson. Christensen gets it back from Colding. Good ball into the box. Headed away by Jensen. Now Hansen goes down. Great appeal for a penalty. The referee waves play on. Smith breaking clear for Arsenal. Well, it's all happening here, and they're furious on the Brondby bench. They truly believe they should have had a penalty for that incident moments ago.
Well, that was a close thing. Stevie Ball went in hard there, but the referee was on the spot.
We've had over a minute of stoppage time played, and that's enough. And that late drama, was it a penalty or wasn't it? Doesn't matter in the end, because Arsenal, by the skin of their teeth, have got through to the quarter-final of the European Cup Winners' Cup. Ian Selley's goal proving to be so vital in the end. But if anyone outside of Highbury thought that this was going to be an easy passage for Arsenal tonight, then Brondby certainly disproved that. Egan's goal gave them real hope. They pressed forward after that as well, and Arsenal had to be at their defensive best to keep them out. And last season's holders of the European Cup Winners' Cup take their place in the last 8. The score on the night: Arsenal 2, Brondby 2. Arsenal go through 4-3 on aggregate, but that was a close one.
Yes, the holders are through, Ray, but they've had the fright of their lives, I think.
I think it was a very tough game for them, Bob. Brondby were a very, very good side indeed. If there was one criticism of Arsenal, I thought they started slowly. Obviously, Brondby scored very early on, but Arsenal didn't really shut them down as a group like they normally do and make it very difficult for them. They played some good football, Brondby.
But the tactics and attitude of the Danish side are top class from first minute or so.
Yes, they had to win, Bob. Arsenal had done a very good job in Denmark, and it was a tough old task for Brondby, but they really set about it in a first-class fashion, and it was a very difficult evening for the Arsenal.
It makes the 2-1 win away in Copenhagen a very good result.
Well, that's right. If you look at the both ties that Arsenal have played, they've actually won the ties away from home. Having looked at that and watched the way Brondby have played this evening, the win in Denmark must have been a fantastic performance by Arsenal.
George Graham relieved man. It keeps the pot boiling till March, doesn't it?
Definitely does.
OK, well, after the break, we'll have some analysis from Ray. We'll also hear the views of George Graham, plus the highlights of Chelsea's game in Austria. Join us again in a moment. Welcome back. So Arsenal are into the Cup Winners' Cup quarter-finals after a 2-2 draw tonight in North London. They go through 4-3 on aggregate. After the match, Alan Parry caught up with one or two of the principals at Highbury, starting with the manager, George Graham.
George, congratulations, through to the quarter-finals again, but that was not a very comfortable night for you, I guess.
No, not really. I thought it was going to be a difficult game. They're a better side than what a lot of people think. In the first half over in Denmark, we were superb. The second half, I thought they played well. And I thought they played well tonight. They got off to a great start. I thought we were very, very slack, very slow starting. And they put us under a lot of pressure. And I think the confidence went in some of our boys. Anyway, we kept Columbus. We're way back into the game. But overall, I would say, not a good performance. Pleasing result. Delighted we got through to the quarter-finals. But they can play a lot better and have played a lot better and lost.
Your heart must have been in your mouth for long periods in that second half, but particularly right at the end there when they thought they had a good penalty turned down.
Well, I think it's well known the Continentals are brilliant at, making the maximum out of certain incidents. Sometimes when we go abroad and we complain about referees, we don't seem to get too much sympathy, so it's nice for maybe us to get a few breaks at home.
It was a tough game. We knew they was going to make it quite hard for us. Having finished the game in Denmark and they put us under a lot of pressure, we knew that they would start the same way, and they did. They scored in the first 2 minutes, I think.
Game sort of hinged on 2 penalty incidents. What was the view of the Arsenal players about the one that you got, firstly?
Well, I didn't see much of it. I just saw Tony just go down. I don't know what exactly happened, but it was thankful that we got the penalty when we did. It settled us down a little bit. And, thankfully I scored it and we went on to play some good stuff. I thought Ray Parlour was excellent.
I think Scandinavian football has improved a lot in the last decade. That's why you see Sweden qualify for 2 World Cups. Denmark won the European Nations Cup. Gothenburg doing very well in the Champions Cup. They're not a pushover anymore, and they're a difficult game, and I thought they played very well tonight.
Yes, they did, and 2 very relieved Arsenal men there. I think George said it all, Ray, really. They were too anxious from that early goal from Hansen, weren't they?
Yeah, quite true, Bob. It was always going to be tough after the first goal. The first couple of minutes, who was on the ball, who had an excellent game. It was a great ball through to Thorsen. It's a nice early cross, and there's Bo Hansen finishing off what was a really first-class move. And that's the way they started the game in fine fashion, Bob.
There weren't really, I don't think, too many great moments overall for Arsenal tonight. The one thing they did have was maybe the best goal of the evening.
Yes, quite right. Ian Selley does ever so well. This is a very quickly taken throw-in by Ray Parlour to Alan Smith. He hooks it into the box. Ian Wright just gets his head on. As Don said, they keep it in the box very well, the Arsenal. And there's Ian Selley showing great composure. It really is. I think if we see it from behind the goal, it's a fantastic shape he makes. It's great composure from Ian Selley to score.
Just gave himself time, didn't he?
That's right. That was only his 3rd goal for the Arsenal as well. It was a great goal.
There were scares all along through the evening, but you don't expect them to come from David Seaman. It was a weird incident, that one, wasn't it?
It was.
And a great save by Lee Dixon.
No question. It was a tussle on the byline. Again, it was Bo Hansen. And as the ball squirms out of Dave's hands, Lee Dixon was the only one that was alive to it. No forward was alive to it, but Lee Dixon was, and it was a great goal line clearance.
Arsenal have been long known for their free kicks and set pieces, but what a free kick that really brought the game to the boil.
Yes, that's right. It's Who again. It's a great delivery. And on the far post, it's Egan. He really does want to win that ball, and I think he beats Alan Smith to the ball. We can see it from behind the goal. Look at the whip he puts on it. And there's Egan at the far post, really wanting to get there. And he sticks it past Dave for what was an excellent goal.
We know what the headlines are going to be in Copenhagen tomorrow morning. They're going to be, "We was robbed," at least in Danish. But what do you think of that last second penalty incident?
Well, having seen it a couple of times, I honestly feel it is a penalty. The ball comes back into the box. Again, it's Bo Hansen. He's taking the ball away from Steve here, and it's a bit of a rash old lunge that Steve puts in. He's actually running into Martin Kjern there, and I think there wasn't really any necessity to make that challenge.
Do you think that if he hadn't made what I thought was a little bit of a meal of it, he may well have got it?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
And that really would have been a very sad evening for Arsenal, because over the 2 legs, obviously, they've done very well to get where they are.
Yes, and they're through. I mean, the thing is, they're in the last 8, right?
That's the vital thing, Bob. Yeah, they're there.
Okay.